Welcome back to another Explainer. Today, we're embarking on a seriously epic, cinematic adventure. We are diving straight into a realm where pure nostalgia just slams right into raw, unbridled power. Cast your mind back to the earliest days of the internet, that era when we'd all just draw a stickman in the margins of a math notebook to pass the time. Well, shatter that memory. Today, we're decoding an absolute visual masterpiece, witnessing the legendary rebirth of those classic stickman warriors into an avatar of supreme, mythic action. So think about this for a second. What actually emerges from the deepest shadows of the digital realm when those simple, fragile little lines are suddenly forged into impenetrable metal? It's kind of the ultimate question of evolution, right? For decades, this figure was just a symbol of simplicity, a quick sketch, a flash of early stickman animation, but now, subjected to the intense pressure of high fantasy world building and the incredibly cutting-edge power of stick AI art, it awakens. It's gearing up for a stickman war, and honestly, maybe even the ultimate stickman war that's going to completely shake the foundations of its universe.
And there he is, the supreme warrior of the Darkverse. Just look at this magnificent arrival. Instantly, we're confronted with a design that absolutely demands your attention. This isn't that spindly, flimsy figure from the past. This is a true Stickman Supreme. The artist actually kept the foundational geometry. You've got the spherical head, the rigid limbs, but they've totally reinvented its texture and gravity. It literally forces us to reevaluate everything we thought we knew about Stickman action.
All right, let's get into Chapter 1, Au cœur du Darkverse, or Into the Darkverse.
Because every epic warrior needs a battleground, right? Welcome to the Darkverse. This is a gritty, shadow-infused reality where simple geometric shapes are forged into complex, battle-ready warriors. And this isn't just some random stylistic choice. It's a harsh, totally unforgiving narrative environment. We aren't looking at clean digital vector lines here. We're seeing aggressive, almost graphite-like cross-hatching. The shading is incredibly deep, basically scratched into existence, which forges a universe that just feels profoundly dangerous.
Moving right along to Chapter 2, L'anatomie du dualiste, the anatomy of the dualist.
Now, to actually survive in this gritty reality, our character had to adapt physically. Just notice the deliberate breakdown of this epic stickman's physical form. First off, you have that forged metallic skin. It's this brushed, battle-worn steel that looks like it could easily parry any incoming stickman's sword. Second, look at those cylindrical, heavily reinforced limbs. They're acting almost like three-dimensional pistons. Third, you've got that perfectly spherical, totally unyielding head, which takes that classic round shape and turns it into an impenetrable cannonball. And finally, those fists. They are clenched and coiled in eternal preparation to unleash absolute destruction as the ultimate stickman duelist.
And look at how these elements actually work together here in terrifying harmony. The posture is incredibly rigid, totally uncompromising. His feet are firmly planted, wide apart, absolutely claiming the ground he stands on. Those oversized, clenched fists really anchor that sense of readiness. It brilliantly captures the real essence of a shadow stick fight. It's not some chaotic, flailing scramble. It's a measured, intensely focused preparation. It's honestly a monument to physical resilience, right before the ultimate stickman fight.
Which brings us to Chapter 3, Le choc des éléments, or Clash of Elements.
Okay, so we've established the heavy, grounded metal of his body. But a supreme warrior requires way more than just armor, right? They need a power source. So, what chaotic, conflicting forces are actually fueling the soul of this supreme warrior? Because peering out from that cold, heavily shaded exterior is an eruption of something altogether otherworldly. It's the sudden visual shock that practically begs us to uncover the internal struggle happening right beneath that steel surface. Just look at that eruption of unbridled energy coming out of his head. It's wild. On the left side, you have this raging, wild orange-red fire representing raw fury, the totally uncontrollable urge of war. But then, immediately opposing it on the right side, a cold, piercing blue flame emanating this calculated, almost ethereal power. It's the exact kind of tactical mind required for a flawless ninja stick fight. It's literally an elemental civil war. Fire and ice, chaos and control, all battling it out within a single entity. And this internal duality is just made completely visible for us. The cold graphite body acts as the ultimate stage for these vibrant dual-colored flames. You can see these tendrils of energy whipping out, completely breaking the rigid boundary of that spherical head. Warm orange light spills down one side of the steel, while an icy blue glow reflects on the exact opposite curve. This intense contrast between heavy metal and weightless energy is just an absolute triumph of AI art.
Finally, let's wrap things up with Chapter 4, L'héritage du Stickman, the Stickman legacy.
This Stickman legacy is, at its core, the evolution of a humble flash animation line drawing into a supreme, highly detailed avatar of action and war. If you grew up on the early internet, you definitely remember those crude, super fast-paced brawls of classic Stickman animation. Well, aided by the breathtaking capabilities of modern AI, this image represents the ultimate maturation of that whole concept. It takes the pure, nostalgic core of action and clothes it in hyper-detailed realism, elevating the humble Stickman straight into modern mythology. The Eternal Warrior stands ready. This aesthetic just seamlessly combines the nostalgic silhouette of our childhoods with a heavily shaded metallic execution topped off by that absolutely mesmerizing, dual elemental gaze. It is an unforgettable, epic adventure captured in a single frame, proving that even the simplest concepts, when pushed to their absolute limits, yield the most powerful shots in digital masterpieces. It's basically the ultimate Stickman fight, crystallized in time. So, as we conclude today's visual explainer, I want to leave you with this provocative thought. In the eternal clash of fire and ice, does the Stickman control the elements, or do the elements control him? Consider the unyielding metal that contains all this fury, and ask yourself what happens when he finally takes a step forward. Keep analyzing, keep wondering, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.